darling, and get me to the firewall at one of the access points. Then find that laptop and don't dally with the hack. In, out, back home for supper.
Uh-oh.
Coming.
Oh, saw that.
I'll go breach the other one over there. Let me know when, so
Somebody grab my
I hit it
phone.
almost at the same time. All right, 3, 2, 1.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today I have a very special red review of Firewall Ultra versus Breaches VR. So, you're a VR warrior, a digital desperado itching for some 5v5 or 4v4 smackdown. But with two titans of tactical shooters, Firewall Ultra and Breaches VR vying for your attention, which one gets your precious playtime? Well, fear not, fellow fragger, for I, your friendly neighborhood bard, have donned the VR headset and emerged blinking and slightly nauseous to deliver a witty yet informative breakdown. So strap on your P90 and get ready to dodge some bullets. First up, we have Firewall Ultra. Firewall Ultra is a PlayStation VR 2 exclusive that was released in August of 2023. It is also the sequel to the original PlayStation VR game Firewall Zero Hour, which utilized the novel aim control. Developed by First Contact Entertainment, Firewall Ultra is designed as a 4v4 tactical shooter. Now, imagine Rainbow Six Siege, but replace the musty maps with sun-drenched Miami rooftops and grimy industrial complexes. Now, strap on some sleek futuristic armor and BAM! That's Firewall Ultra. It's a hardcore, teamwork-focused experience where one wrong move sends you to the spectator screen faster than a greased watermelon down a mine shaft. Communication is key. Flanking is your best friend, and headshots are satisfying as a perfectly timed putt. You utilize different guns and gadgets in the game in PvP mode with 2 teams of 4 that will face off in a best-of-3 battle. In addition, each contractor has a unique skill that they bring to the fight, plus they can add an additional skill. For instance, one contractor may not set off trip lines, while another deploys one on deck. With the right combination of contractors on a team, they can get a lot more done than any one person with just a gun. The attacking team will set out to capture the defending team's intel, while the defending team must seek out and eliminate their enemies while protecting the objective. The overall pace is slow, but very tactical. Every shot can be potentially lethal, especially if it's a headshot. The graphics are top-notch and the sound of the guns are realistic. If you've ever wanted to play Call of Duty graphics in a VR first-person tactical shooter, then you've come to the right place. Because of the slow pace of the game, motion sickness is really not much of a concern here, except for the most intensive fights are those that are very susceptible to the sickness. Gunplay is good overall, even though there are some quirks unlike any other game, such as the aim down sights button, which snaps the sights to your eye no matter where your hands are. This brings me to one of the more unique aspects of this shooter. Because it is a PlayStation exclusive, the developer took the time to integrate eye tracking into the game. So many of the menus are highlighted by just looking at them instead of using the controller to select it. It has the mixed result in game as the aim down sights button will snap the sights to wherever you're looking at the time, but it may ever be so slightly off. And this is on purpose, mind you, so that folks don't just look at your head and pull the trigger, but it will break the immersion as your hands are in one spot, while you're looking in another spot. Overall, this is a great game, but due to the many changes the game has undergone in a bumpy launch, the player base has all but dried up. It also does not help that the developer, First Contact Entertainment, has shut down at the end of 2023. In a social media post, the developer stated, quote, "The lack of support for VR within the industry has eventually taken its toll. As a AAA VR game developer, we are just not able to justify the expense needed going forward. We are a team of fearless innovators willing to push new technology to its limits." End quote. The game is still on sale in the PlayStation Store for $39.99. Now, moving on to Breachers. Breachers was launched in April of 2023 on the PCVR and MetaQuest headsets. Since then, after a long wait, it was finally released on PlayStation VR 2 in December of 2023. Picture a high-octane, action-packed heist movie meets VR. You're part of a ragtag crew of mercenaries tasked with infiltrating heavily guarded facilities and stealing priceless loot. Think Michael Bay, but with way less collateral damage, probably. Breachers VR is all about fast-paced gunfights, explosive gadgets, and over-the-top action sequences. This is also a 5v5 tactical shooter, but it's not as slow-paced as Firewall Ultra. Two teams take turns infiltrating a building or a boat to set an EMP to stop a bomb that was set by the other team. You're on a timer, and whichever team either eliminates the other squad or completes the bomb setting or defusing task wins. Like Firewall, there are a lot of gadgets to purchase and use, but these are bought every round instead of being permanent. You earn cash each round and you get more each time your team wins. However, if you should die during the round, then you'll lose all of your gear and have to rebuy it for the next round. This can make it particularly difficult if your team has lost a couple of rounds in a row. The other team will be flush with cash and equipment, and your team will be scraping by with what you can barely afford, always keeping in mind the cash you will need for the next round. Just as the title implies, you spend your time crashing through doors or blowing up walls to breach and clear a room. That basic premise invites a lot of hectic gameplay and strategy. Overall, Breachers is a great game and is currently available for $29.99. Well, there you have it. Two really good first-person shooter games in VR. As for my personal pick in terms of graphics and realism, Firewall Ultra is the hands-down winner. However, just due to the fact that First Contact has closed its doors with the game's future now unknown, I'd be hesitant to buy this game as you never know how long the service will be up. Plus, while a lot of people do own the game, not many people actually play it anymore except for the hardcore fans, which make picking this game up fairly difficult for a newcomer. Be prepared to die to very experienced teams. Alone. Breachers, on the other hand, while not as realistic, has some great gameplay and a good player base. The barrier to entry is fairly low. Now, don't get me wrong, you'll die like the noob you will be, but with a bit of practice, you'll get the hang of it and be blowing through the doors like John McClane in no time. Well, my time is up. I hope that you've enjoyed this review and that you like, subscribe, and comment below about what you'd like to see for next time. Till then, keep your guns greased and your bullets fresh, and I'll talk to you again soon. Peace.
Oh, he's through the door. He's on the other side of the door through that.